Hello and welcome. Got the win on the board.
Got the dub.
Got the W. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hashem's Blues, episode 4. We're in round 4. Do we want to go through last week?
Well, we can just talk about it.
Very
We don't even have to
briefly.
get it up.
Got the win.
Second highest score of the league as well.
Yep.
Scored a 17,
1707 or 1709.
something like that, which is a monster score, really, when you have 18 players. Is it 18 on the field?
It's 18 on the field. Let's
There
just
you go,
take a
mate.
look. Let's just show you guys what we're talking about. For those of you that are super invested in this team, let's have a look. So this is what we're dealing with. 1709
Parnham's Pelicans.
gave us a good game. Had the Nick
Not
Martin
really.
gave
We
us the
smashed-
Nick
oh,
Martin.
yes.
Yeah, we'll give him a little bit of credit for that.
We're sitting here watching Nick Martin just rack it up. Scores a 290. Who would have thought that our captain would outscore that?
Yeah,
And
which he's gone in.
that's exactly what happens.
What was our lowest score? Burns.
And then just need to touch on Riley Bonas, but he didn't have a very good game.
No.
But still scored a 127.
127. We'll take it.
We had Elijah
We did.
on the bench.
I tried.
We did use a loophole of Zerha, but realistically, ideally, we would have had Elijah instead of Burns playing, and would have had Bonner and Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would have potentially had the highest score of the league for the week.
Yep.
But we live and we learn. And
No, well, it was his first game. I understood the theory.
Hmm.
I knew he'd be good. I did not expect 107 from Elijah. I thought he was like an 80, 85 player. But nonetheless, we are filming this at halftime on Thursday night. You can see Rivers and Clayton, who's just not looking great right now.
It hurts a little bit because Petrarca was a pick after Oliver, and we
Yeah.
obviously went Oliver. We're going to back him in. We don't really have a choice in the matter.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have Max Gorn, and he's on 70 at halftime, which you can't really ask more from your captain.
No.
Uh,
So this is us.
this is let's just get straight into it. What's happening here? So we had a strategy last week as well, not touch the waiver.
Yep.
Happy with our team, back our boys in.
Mitch
and
Lewis did a hammy,
he did,
and we
but
said we were going to hold on to him.
yeah, and it doesn't hurt to have a loophole opportunity as well in the forward line. And then, as good teams do, you keep a track of the waiver of other teams and what they're doing and who's they're picking up and who they're dropping. And Lockie Schultz came available.
I can't believe he dropped him. Who was it?
It was from the river to the G. I think that's co-coached by 3 coaches.
They got in their head. Trigger happy.
Yeah, they did. They would have drafted him too. What I learnt from last year, I mean, getting trigger happy in general, but made that mistake with Grind Myers. Picked him up. I thought it was a really good pick. Got impatient. He was putting on like 30s and 40s. And I reckon the week we dropped him, he just skyrocketed, went bang,
Yeah.
and probably averaged like 80 or 90
From
from
that
then
moment.
on.
Well, I mean, you look at Schultz. It's a 79 first game, 55, 57, 48. Okay.
I mean, 48 is right now his floor.
Had a bye.
New team, learning a new system. You're going to back him in. I expect him to be a starter by midway through the season
Yeah.
on our team.
And also, 8 of their last 9 games are at the MCG.
Collingwood also start. Like, there's just so much of why you shouldn't drop a Lockie Schultz type player.
Yep.
Their loss, our gain.
Again.
So we obviously broke our rule. We made a decision. We dropped Lewis, gone out of the team, injured anyway. Is that going to bite? I don't think that's going to bite us. You know, is he going to have the odd 100 game? Probably.
Yeah.
But he was struggling anyways to start the year.
And once you get soft tissue, you're just at risk of doing it again.
Yeah.
So
He's very injury prone.
yeah.
and happy to have Lockie Schultz a part of the team.
Yeah, Windhager gets suspended.
He does. So he's obviously on the bench. Lockie Ash, thankfully, thank God, has retained his spot, hoping for...
He'll bounce back.
He will bounce back, confident. So backline's pretty straightforward. We have Rivers playing right now. The ultimate question here was Iden or Guthrie. Iden's coming off a break and 100 prior.
Yep.
Even though Guthrie looked really good in the wet.
Yep.
He did. So our backline's in a good position anyway. We're playing Saar, we're playing McGovern.
Yeah.
Moving on to the middle.
Clary, look, let's talk about Newcombe on air. It's on me. It's on me. You've picked Flanders as your breakout last year, and I feel like I've done the same with Newcombe. I do feel like he will have a 6-game patch where he averages like 120, and I feel like he is missing Will Day and a few of the other mids, and he's just not looking like Jai Newcombe from last year.
We can't go too far in this league if Newcombe doesn't fire.
Correct. Especially without Doc.
And it does hurt with like the name, like Cornelio, Josh Kelly, who else went after
Chera
him?
was there.
Yeah, just a few really good names, solid players who we chose to take Newcombe. It's a team decision. It is what it is. So we're just hoping that he comes good. He did look better.
Yes.
He did.
But not good enough.
Not good enough. So that is our midfield right now. Riley Bonner obviously retains his spot.
I want to highlight Tanner because the guy's at scoring 88, 87 from 65% game time and 63% game time. So we feel like we're onto something here.
Incredibly frustrating.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he got injured in the first game as well, and then he's coming back from injury. All right. Let's hope he can tick up to like
80%.
80%.
78, 80%.
I think Chris Scott's notorious for rotations like that and low time on ground. But he's here to stay, Tanner. Josh Dacos, been a really good pick by us. Bonner, don't know, he's right now named on the interchange. Wouldn't be surprised if Ross, I mean, they're a bit down on troops at the moment. So probably going to give him the opportunity to bounce back, especially with Windhager out.
He did have a lot of the ball.
He did.
I mean, 17 turnovers from his 33. That's incredible.
By 127 is just a great score. So it doesn't matter how good or bad of game you had. Let's hope he retains his spot and plays. If not, we have Ryan Burns waiting in the wings, who I think he's named. Yet he has a green. He has a green tick next to his name. Okay, so that's the midfield.
Cripps and Elijah, tick it off. Cripps, congratulations on being a father. We think that'll elevate him.
Let's hope Elijah can back it up and just put 80 minimum on the board. Not expecting 100 every week from Elijah, but hoping his floor is not 45.
Yes. Max King returns straight in. The question is, I mean, Bradley Hill and Jamara, I feel like no question they're named. Lukosius, Marshall on the field. We don't know if we're going to play Marshall or Finlayson.
Well, that's the question. We need to decide. There is some loophole opportunities with really Finlayson, Zerha, and Marshall because they're all playing on the Friday. We can talk about Lukosius for a moment just because he's got the question mark next to his name.
Yes. Well, Jed Walter played last week, and that moved Lukosius to defense. And if that becomes a reality, we are laughing because if he becomes a defender behind the ball, kick mark game goes up while Jed Walter finds his way in the forward line.
Precarious being named on the interchange.
Yes.
Interesting. I'm not sure about that.
Will there be a statement?
He didn't do anything wrong, and he's too good to not be playing. You wouldn't play him in the twos, and I don't see why you'd have him as a sub either.
True.
So let's hope he plays. Could just be a little bit of mind games with the opposition. Who knows how they do it. Okay, so really Marshall and Finlayson, Ben Mackay's a factor here. They're playing the Bombers.
Right.
And Ben Mackay is a good opponent.
Well, he's not giving up goals to forwards.
No.
So they've got Georgiades, Marshall, and Finlayson named,
and
Dixon.
And they've got Soldo as a ruck.
Yes.
And Dixon / Finlayson chop out. Depends. I think in the forward line, Dixon usually takes the hit outs.
Yes.
So that's really the question, because also we don't really have a loophole opportunity anyway, because we don't have a non-scoring forward.
True.
So it's really
we have to make the call now.
We have to make the call now.
What do you?
So we're agreeing.
What's your gut telling you? Marshall's the better player.
Marshall is the better player. My gut, for some reason, is telling me Finlayson, because Georgiades is coming in, which could. Finlayson plays a little swingman action.
Yes.
He does get around the ground, use him higher up.
Behind
could
the ball.
be used as a option down the line. Probably won't live in the forward line, where Marshall's a bit more of a stay-at-home forward.
What do we do?
It's almost a coin flip. I am leaning towards Finlayson.
Same.
Well, if
it's a ballsy pick to do it,
correct.
But
it's not the obvious pick. But
like, are we getting too cute? But our theory is that, I mean, Ben Mackay goes to 1, and if it's Dixon, then we're not worried.
Unless they want to like expose Finlayson, but if they do that, he's just going to move Finlayson up the ground, and you can't drag Ben Mackay out of defense. He's not going to follow.
He's not.
He needs to be in the defensive 50. So, I mean, we can flip if we really want, but I think
coaches. Let's be coaches.
No, we're leaning towards Finlayson. We're not playing a very good opposition, all due respect, but
do you want to make the move?
Let's do it.
Let's make the move.
No, he can't be an emergency. Take him off as an emergency. Oh, there you go. Done. Okay. Marshall is the emergency. Finlayson playing.
We'll go to who we're playing.
Quickly.
This is the guy that drafted Kruger with his first or second
pick, I believe. He drafted after us, and it was incredibly there's 2 of them, and they apparently could not agree on a pick. Each pick, they took the maximum allotted time. It was incredibly frustrating to draft after them. And if you just look at their team, with all due respect, there are some handy players, no doubt. Andy McGrath, great. Then their back line is a bit up and down. Jaden Hunt can get you 100, but then he can also get you a 40. Mark O'Connor don't really rate Cunningham, Quaynor, don't really rate them too highly as fantasy players. Dunkley, obviously,
he's got him as
very
a
solid.
vice this week.
He's got, and then Francis is back. He's lost Ollie Wines. Nick Cox, what are you doing there? Marlon Pickett's going to get you a big bat 43.
Oh, wow. Throwing shade this week, Avram. Wow.
That's it.
He's got that competitive juice.
Archie, his team speaks for itself. He's moved Zorko to the middle. Matt Rowell, obviously very strong. Zorko, I think Darcy Cameron will have a good game this week too. Should score over 100. So we're up against it a little bit, but I think overall we have a better spread. Jack Graham, yuck.
Well, Jack Graham, is he playing?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, he is playing.
He is. He's back. And they need him because they're decimated by injury right now. O'Halloran, probably good for a 65-70. Good players. Darcy Byrne-Jones, even if he kicks 3 goals, he's not scoring more than 60.
Callum Brown's a 95-35 player.
Yeah. So he's got Chase Jones. He's going to use as a loophole here on 49 at the half, which is really good for him.
But for who? Would he bring in Weller?
No, what he'll do is he'll put Ollie Wines in the middle.
Okay.
And he'll probably take out Cox or Pickett. Or Archie. One of those. Just quickly, in our defense, we're sure we want to play Arden over Guthrie. That's the last question of the evening.
Who are they playing? The Suns in Adelaide.
going to be a cracking game.
Cracking game.
And Geelong are playing.
Listen, it's a good question.
He was
They're
really
playing
good
the
in the wet.
doggies.
He was really good in the wet, Zach.
They are
Guthrie.
coming off a 5 or 6 day break. They played on Monday.
And they played in the wet.
And they're playing on Saturday.
And the Giants are fresh.
Giants are fresh off a bye.
All right. Had to ask the question. The answer's been given.
But it's right now they're not so far away.
Well, that they are in contention for that 5th defensive spot playing emergency. Otherwise, and then obviously we have Windhager, who I don't even know what we'll do with Windhager when the time comes next week. Hopefully there's no injuries.
We love seeing Gordon on 72 at the half.
Oh, they've given him 2 extra points.
Oh,
great.
The half started.
Mate,
up to 150, mate.
All right, well, that means it's time to go.
Time to go back to the footy.
Hopefully Clayton Oliver can do something this half.
Oh, he's got a little kick next to his name here.
Yeah, he must have.
Yeah.
And
we'll see you next week.
Yeah.